and a few new subscribers that I got on this channel. I know it's been a while since I've really uploaded or put anything together. I'm actually in a transition of moving, and I just really been super, super duper busy. But Division is one of my favorite games. If you go through my channel, you can see Division 1 videos, old videos of gameplay builds and things. And I was real adamant about that initially doing this type of content. But today we're gonna talk about the DLC. I've been hearing a lot of different opinions on Ubisoft and the state of Division and Division 3. I know they did cancel out Hardlands as well a while back ago. I know it's old news, but that was something I was looking forward to, far as the Division. But
Nearby hostage situation detected.
going forward, right now, I kind of play the game on my PS Portal. I done had the Portal since it came out, and after their recent updates, been playing it. So it's convenient for me on the ends of it. But let's go over here to Brooklyn with the DLC. Let's go to the Brooklyn Bridge. I believe it's this way. I want to show you guys something before we talk about the pushback of the content and the expectations going forward. Now we will be getting a new content. They moved it up to the 25th of February to the 27th. So we will be getting a new content as well. But the basis of the division for me now, I just come back to the game. I'd have done everything in the game, raids, uh, this New York war, warning. I've done all the raids. I got every weapon. I did miss out on a season weapon, which I'm gonna look up. It's the Overlord shotgun. I had saw that in my proficiency. But if you come over here, this is a pretty old thing, a trick where you can see the Brooklyn Bridge. Well, we're here at the Brooklyn Bridge right now. You see it's broken, it's destroyed. It's amazing when you look at it. But let me show you guys something. So if you didn't know, if they didn't patch it here in the water where these red things are, you can come on over here. Yeah, you can run across this place here. You can come to this. Look at the dog. But yeah, so we are at Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Bridge. So I don't know if the DLC is going to be an attachment, or maybe you'll have a big fight here before this area is opened up. But like I said, the bridge is destroyed, but you can pretty much come over here and you're here. You're here under the Brooklyn Bridge. That's Brooklyn over there from Division 1. That's a whole map, man. Look how big that map is, though. So when you look at that as well, let me do something here. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Boom. So I'm gonna hide this as well, but yeah. So we here at the Brooklyn DLC now. You can't go any further. I swear I'm not good with this camera, but the map over there is crazy. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's complete. Let me see how this is how I can go with this camera. But yeah. So with me coming back to the game, I distinctively remember, of course, everybody says it's dead game, da 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 da. But many people who play this MMO, for third person shooter, looter, it's very extensive because of how they done the game. Now, I wasn't a big Diablo player. I did play Diablo 3 and the newer one. And a lot of the assets and things from that type of game, far as dotting, far as building your character and things like that, enhancing your builds. It's a good game. But something like the Division is a rare commodity. This was the top selling game, new IP when it released back in, I believe, 2016. Don't quote me. Um, and the trailer is what hooked me. Now, Ubisoft, I have been a adamant fan of Ubisoft games for a while, and I think that this game here would have been their bread and butter. I know they had a lot of quality of life for this game. I remember when they was talking about the release before the beta, before we got to play the beta, and they was talking about the seasons, they was talking about the episodes, they was talking about supporting the game fully. And don't get me wrong, when I first initially started the game, of course, you had the major comparison to Division One. As far as the movement, it was clunky. It felt more stiff. Division, I believe, like the Division One, the camera on the Division One was actually pulled out, so you really saw your character. And you get some of those phases, like you see how they cut off your feet. I mean, of course, you can look down and see your whole character, but how they cut off your feet. Division One had the whole character on the screen. So with this, it eliminated it really put it into a third person perspective to make it more cinematic, which was a good. Now looking at it, is a very good um, asset to the game because of the combat. But Division, just a simple eight eight count spreadsheet here, and they also have all your things like this. So this is a spreadsheet. A person who like spreadsheets and numbers, like accounting and things like that, this is amazing for them. But that's just one layer of the game, as far as the fundamentals. And then you come here and you look at. I remember in Division One when they introduced it as to gear sets and brand sets. The brand sets in Division One was pretty decent. You had a lot of mod slots on the first initial release, and then you was actually too powerful for the game, so they wavered in that content. But now, when you look at the DLC being pushed back, in the state of Ubisoft now, when it comes to a game like this, The Division, it's pushed back because it's not a lot of monetization. Meaning that, of course, now we're getting uh, perspectives of the store, and this is where money is. I guess this is how they're making their money to continue to push out content. So if you like this game, you should really, really support this. But on the ends of just buying and purchasing something and doing the same things over and over again, it's not really uh, at a great space. There's no other game like this, but it also has been done before, but it hasn't been done like this. But the aspect of the Brooklyn DLC being pushed back in the state of Ubisoft, man, I read today they lost 80% of their market share, man. They was at 13.8 billion, I believe. Now they 1.5 bill, 1.13 billion. You know what I'm saying? Far as market share, bro. They lost over half of their shareholders, man. Now I don't know if it's because of the gaming market now with AI. AI can actually produce games much faster and more efficient. Not saying the quality will be good, but something like this game that's been like it's like a dead horse at this point. This game released back in 2017. I mean, 19, 18, I believe, and it is at a state where it is a complete game for new players. Like I think the new players, the casual players, that's coming or buying the game on a very very discounted rack is enjoying coming into this game. Um, and the reviews for this game when it came out, it was a 7 out of 10. The graphics is amazing on this game. The exploration is very good. They did an amazing job with this game, and it sucks to see that this game is not getting the praise over there. I mean, I tried X Defiant. X Defiant was good. All the Assassin's Creeds that they releasing a new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they're banking on this game now. Don't get me wrong, the game look amazing. The assets they got in the game for the current generation. we're going to see the machines get pushed to their limits, the computers get pushed to their limits. But just like a game that disappointed me was Wukong. I was waiting for that game, and the game is amazing. It's fun, the depth and things like that, as far as the combat. But it's just like a melee combat, and for me, melee combat is God of War. You know what I'm saying? The parry, the hits, the combos, the strength that you feel. Wukong didn't capture that for me. It was after coming off of Elden Rings. I remember, and I know we talk about the division, but this all wraps up to these RPG MMOs and these titles for lengthy ability or replayability. The reason why Division is set apart in a great game is because of the value that you get from just replaying missions over and over again. The value you get from a 4-man squad taking on raids, I mean incursions, or an 8-man squad taking on raids or doing countdown. They have different queues that you go into to fight. And then it's also a game that has PvP. It has a casual PvP setting for like something like Conflict, um, which sucked that it still only has 3 maps. It hasn't really been a initial point for this game of release. They have the Dark Zone, but to me, the Dark Zone is a bad reputation and simulation because it's based around clan war. So anytime games introduce something like Clan Wars, it's a specific event for ranking, leaderboards, things like that. I remember when Advanced Warfare came out. This is the first. I mean, I heard of clan wars and clan battles in games before, but it was more extensive to like I said, like Diablo and things like that. But I remember Advanced Warfare, Modern Warfare, or I mean Call of Duty Advanced Warfare introduced like a clan war, and it was very good for squads and parties of clans. This is when the social scene was really good. So for me, like the Dark Zone, right? The Dark Zone always been a place of toxicity, a place where you can communicate, you can argue, you can fuss, and I think they really tried to drive it home with a smaller server. I believe it's 12 people that can be in one server versus the division. It literally had 19 plus you. So 20 people, and those fights was extensive, and the Dark Zone wasn't just geared on farming. I mean, in the beginning, it was based on farming in the beginning because you had to go in the Dark Zone for Division Tech, and Division Tech before the crafting station was a major um, a major overhaul in the game. You had to go get Division Tech to roll your gear, and you couldn't roll but one piece. Just like this one, you can only roll one stat. When they introduced the crafting table in the Division 1 and it became a staple, you can re-roll each talent to get the exact things you want. Now it was hell sometimes getting certain talents on the gear because you would roll it like 100 times just to get that one slot, that one major attribute, and like magazine size and all that on your gear and stuff like that wasn't really that big. It was just really based upon the meta. And with this game, I know it introduced the meta like now in the Dark Zone. It's a armor regen headshot meta. It's a very decent meta, but it's really no um, real counter to it because I mean you can do striker cheddar box, which people do, or you can do an armor regen band as well. But that's very good for PvP. You know, it should be. It's bad because you got adrenaline rush, intimidate, 2 million armor, and damn near 141,000 armor regen per second. And if you know with this game in Division 1, reason why it was a big skill base in PvP because you had to know how to maneuver, how to move. They call it the chicken dance. You had to know how to do that at a level where they're doing it in the division, but it's mainly like just running in the circle in this one. You still do your little movement and run in a circle, and just you time it every reload, every shot, the movement, far as the combat goes. But I don't know, it was just something special about the Dark Zone in Division 1 that led to a cult following for this game. But now we're here. The Battle for Brooklyn DLC was canceled. I overheard that it was canceled indefinitely, but now they're saying that it is coming out this year. But they really don't have no gameplay no story driven thing. And if you did this new manhunt that they have, which is I believe they call it Journey or something like that. It stopped the seasonal manhunts, which was really good because they lasted 3 months. But you can do them do all the things and then unlock the first target, then the second target, and third target. Which ostensibly it was a lot of Black Tusk shit. Which you see Black Tusk is nothing now. I mean they are in legendary missions, the White Tusk now, but it was really not really significant to the game at the time. I remember waiting for Title Base in the release. I remember the first initial DLCs that they had. And Division at that point was at a stale state because it wasn't no real build diversity. Now introducing where you in what we in year 6 or 7 or something like that. They're introducing new gear sets and new gear pieces for us to sandbox and build and come up with ideas. I think the Ninja Backpack was very, very good introducing to the game because that was a great ability in Division One. And they had in Division One you can wear a full exotic set. It wasn't that good. I mean, I love the short bow knee pads in Division One as far as a grenade for PvP. And for me, in Division One, I did a lot of PvP play. So it wasn't. I mean, I done the incursions. I was there through all the glitches and invisible walls, and man, we had a shield thing for Falcon Lost where you can just attach yourself to a shield and run cover to cover, and you would float outside of the screen. But yeah, I remember those things, and those was real good for this game because it built a standard for this type of game, and it was a fresh take on social as well as working in a group as well as building spreadsheets and things like that. So for Ubisoft not to look at this as the breadwinner, I remember the game Division 2 was stale because they was working on Avatar 2 game. It's like, are you serious? And I never played that shit. I got it. I just never played it. But for me, when they announced Hardlands, it had my heart beating fast on the basis of, damn, this going to be like Fortnite or some shit, like a battle royale type of survival looter shooter. And Tarkov did that well, but games such as Hunter, I forget, I think it was called Hunter something. I played a little bit of that. It was decent. I even played a game called it was a free to play game about it's like Vampire Masquerade or some shit like that. It's a battle royale. That game, gunplay and movement over the shoulder was so similar to Division outside of the scaling the walls and the supernatural powers you had. But as far as the gunplay mechanic, Division One gunplay mechanic was so fucking engaging on the ends because you had so much recoil on weapons. You had different aspects, the LVOC, the M1, the M14, the goddamn house submachine gun. They really had a great recoil pattern where it was just a great skill gap. But coming to year 6, and this game been out since 2019. So you do the math, it's 2025 now, 6 years of this game. No real major overhaul outside of Gear 2.0. Stat space still limited, which they supposed to be changing next week to 30. It's sad to see that this game that has had so much promise in the beginning of it is now, you know, the last egg on the shelf. And it's actually, I mean, they released the new shades of seasonal pass. And for me, when I see anything with a division because I like this game, I support it. I think it was $29.99 or $39.99 to buy this Shades of Red, and I purchased it. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while. I was like, do I really want to buy this? I really want to buy that. Then I saw the little white touch set, and I said that's something they should have added into the game. But let's go into the topic of conversation. I was just ranting a little bit, just freeballing it. But on the ends of the Battle for Brooklyn DLC for this game. Now, to me, I'll be surprised if it does come out, based upon the uncertainty of Ubisoft right now. It's still a huge company, $1 billion qualities, but it said that they will launch it later in 2025. Now, if you remember, the DLC was announced 3 years ago, and then it was supposed to release the following year, I believe year 4, year 5, end of year 5. They ended up pushing it back, and if you look at this manhunt right here, it ended on like audio logs, but all the audio logs was talking about Brooklyn. So if you follow the lore, which this game, that's another aspect about this game. It has a great lore to it, as far as um, general content about division, corruption, and things like that. So for a hardcore shooter or a player that is into the lore of the game, it's beautiful. I mean, coming off Division 1, Aaron Keener was like, man, we're gonna have to kill his ass. To now, they end up bringing him back to life in this one. So they don't really have it's supposed to be story driven, but they really don't have a story. They don't have a concept for the game anymore. They'll just give them some new builds, some a gear set, a named weapon, new talents, and let them figure it out. It's not enough to keep the game going. So when I heard about the DLC after not playing this game for about 9 months, because when I played a lot of the incursion that they had. That was what I was playing every day. I logged in for the not only for the exotic, but for just the social aspect, of this game. Teaching players, y'all learning, y'all working together, y'all strategizing. I got raid videos on my channel. We trying to speed run the raid and things like that. I did the master mission solo. I did it with modifiers and without modifiers. With modifiers made it a whole lot easier, but it still was my third attempt, and it took me 2 hours to do. On average, people are finishing in an hour and 11 minutes. It took me 2 hours and 11 minutes to finish it with the modifier. But I did it without the modifiers, which I will post. I got it down to about that hour and a half, hour 20, like 1 hour 24 minutes. I beat it without the modifiers. It wasn't necessarily much easier, but it was easy because once I learned the mechanics, like on the second floor of that level, you just leave the NPCs alive, the two NPCs standing by the computer instead of kill them. Then you let them run around. You do unlock all the numbers, and once you start a computer, that's when you battle. So I think they did a good job with those missions, and I would like to see Master in the open world. I would like to see Master difficulty in all missions. Just add a little bit more NPCs, more damage-based NPCs. The incursion, I feel like they did an excellent job with the incursion. It wasn't no real mechanics in the incursion. The last boss battle was a great mechanic. It was like tug of war. That was real good. Those things like that builds make the game fun in a sense because it gives us a characteristic that we don't have from a game that we've been playing for the last 6 years. So the expectancy for this DLC or wanting this DLC to release and being disappointed again, what you going to expect? It's always happening that way. It just it kills the momentum, or damn, the division is back finally. The new players come to the game, the old players return, such as myself. I buy to do the DLCs. I did all the journeyman hunts. I started understanding the modifiers, and then next week we get a new release window for a new weapon, new exotic, and I'm guessing that's the new season. So, but with the new season, there's no new content. Everybody say, why they just don't do survival? Why they just don't do things like that? Because we do miss Division 1. We miss the snow. We miss the feel of the gameplay and things like that. And I can't say this game here is an amazing game. Some of the vistas in this game is beautiful. Like right now, we standing at the Brooklyn Bridge. If you just tuning in, that's the broken Brooklyn Bridge right over there. You can come to New York, run down from the Stranded Tanker, and you can come around here and get to the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm pretty sure y'all, if you know the game, you already knew about this. But if you didn't, then yeah, this is the Brooklyn Bridge. They got some nice little assets here and things like that. But you just come across this water and you at the Brooklyn Bridge. So yeah, the Battle for Brooklyn DLC was promising for story. I think would have been great. If they had a little bit more encouragement, a little bit, like I said, the master difficulty, they nailed it with that. Giving a refresh of a mission that you're familiar with a decent level of challenge for even a 4-man team. Solo is damn near, you got to be that hard. You got to have the time to sit down and play 2 hours on that mission, or even an hour on that mission. So the battle for Brooklyn, like I said, it looked like it's like that's Brooklyn over there. That looks big as hell as far as the map. If you take a look at the map for Warlords of New York, it is a pretty decent map size. It's actually it's a pretty decent map size for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm lagging out a little bit, but just look at how huge that area will be. So I don't know, man. I don't know what they can do to enhance the game because of the expectancy, and it sucks that in Division 1 we had like state of the games. We had so much support for that game. We got spoiled with that. They was giving us updates every week. They would suggest things in the game, and they was really playing the game. I'm pretty sure they still play this game as well, but they was really into this game. I remember Yannick. They had another fellow, I guess he was like the product manager. And man, we was happy to see them, and for now, what we get in this game is just more stuff to purchase, masks, clothing, whatever, and a new master mission mode that's tied to a manhunt. And it's sad that was a great aspect to the game, and they tied it to a exotic chess piece that is meaningless. So I just wish that I wish this game get the light that it deserves. I don't know what the new Assassin's Creed is going to do. I have the all the Assassin's Creeds, but the 3 recent ones that they released, Valhalla, Mirage, and I forget what the first one was, Spartan or something. And I played Mirage because of a black dude, what I'm saying, the assassin, and I was into like Egypt and stuff like that, ancient Egypt and things like that. And they did an amazing job with the game. The combat was like, you know what I'm saying? But it was still a good game as far as the fast travel system and the steady flow. I didn't like the Eagle thing as far as the Eagle vision. It was just too linear. It wasn't really a challenge, you know what I'm saying? And coming from like tactical games like Metal Gear Solid, which was just a scroller type of game, but it had different aspects of like stealth and how you approach things. And that game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is going to be in the same scale because you're really going to use a shadow area as tactical advancements on the battlefield. But for the most part, I know I'm just basing my opinion here. I believe that this game, it still has a lot of life in it, even though it's an older game. It's still a PS4 title. It's no crossplay. It's no real graphic enhancements except for the field of vision. I just think this game need a refresh, not necessarily an overhaul, and it needs new content. Like it needs master difficulty is cool for what it's worth. Legendary was even cool for what it's worth. I'm not gonna lie, Man and Zoo, I must have just reset it today, but Man and Zoo, my God, with the modifiers on, that shit is hard as hell. That's hard, and I done beat that joint so many times, but like playing it now with the current state of the game and players coming to it, man, it's horrible. Even sometimes playing the master mission, it's horrible. It's an easy mission, but it's horrible playing with inexperienced people, and then it's really not like the context to socialize anymore. Hey, like, let's build this. Let's figure out a faster way to do this. Let's figure this out. This is my first time. Da 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 da. Man, it takes away from a lot of the game magic. But I just wanted to just state my opinion, show you this little area if you didn't know. We right in front of the Brooklyn Bridge. So hopefully they start the DLC here, which looked like the assets are here to start it. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder, how did this bridge get destroyed? That's what I'm wondering. You know what I'm saying? Because when we was doing the raid, the second raid, a lot of the assets here, even in the first raid, It had like this boat. It had certain things in the distance that showed um, a perspective of like damage. But if you go in Division 1, if you still got it, you go to Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Bridge. That is the opening scene of Division 1. This bridge here, and I'm not sure if the bridge was destroyed, but it's kind of confusing to players because this Warlords of New York is a whole complete different DLC. You're not in DC no more. You're actually in New York City. So you can run around this area. You can see different assets and things. And of course, when they released it, people was like Division 1. They need to do a dark zone over there and da 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 da. And it's like, no, they didn't even do it. It wasn't really. It actually broke the game a lot because of the meta at that time with the stamina pool and the health thing was apparent in this DLC. The enemies NPCs was very tanky. They had extra health, and it wasn't balanced. It's still today. It's still not that way. This DLC though got. I don't give it no play. I don't even come here. I done all the missions. I got all the roles done over here. I don't even come here. So I think the Brooklyn DLC would have pushed, since it was free. It would have pushed sales for Warlords in New York. They could have tied missions here as well, or manhunts over here as well, or a new faction as well over here, and introduce um, the context of the ages that are road now. I forget Kelso, um, why what's her name? Lei Fang went road. They could have just did something. I still honestly I have to go to YouTube and look it up. How the fuck is Aaron Keena alive? Like I don't even know what happened. We a deal right here. This man, what the fuck is going on? I thought we killed him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I think they just run out of ideas. But the main thing is that they should just give us content, and if they want to put story there, it should make sense. Um, to me, I think this just took a different shape of the apocalyptic, not necessarily the apocalyptic, but the fight for survival, a disease. Because this is going on in the same time as look, we in New York now, so it affected DC, New York. Division 2 is set in DC. Division 1 is set in New York, and both of them were affected at around the same time. So what we was fighting in New York with the snow and things like that, it was happening over here in DC, and it ain't like it's like now they introduce it. Okay, this is a summertime in DC after the dollar flu. You got monsoons, you got uh, deserted streets and camps now where people are trying to rebuild and survive. I think that was a great concept, but it's now you running around here with a souped up mask and crazy outfit. It just don't feel like the Division 1. Division 1 has some weird, wacky stuff in there too in the later years, but as far as just walking the streets of New York in Division 1, you felt the sense of people trying to survive. You can look up in the windows, you would see NPCs looking out the window. Someone would even be shooting guns out the fucking window at the other uh the factions there. So it was just like it was great for that game being a new IP and seeing the great attention to detail. And that's what I'm saying about even the missions that we have here. The incursion was good, like I said. Legendary missions, and they hit or miss. I really don't have no favorite legendary mission outside of testing the full capacity of my build in District Union, and I'm pretty sure everybody do that. We used to test it at the I forget the mission. It's a True Sons mission, and it's at the bottom left of the map. I forget the name of it offhand, but we used to test all our builds out there as well, solo runs and even in groups. But like I said, the real meat and potatoes, we everybody go to District Union and test their damage, their builds, and things like that. And fundamentally understanding the game, it's like I'm gonna show you this build right here, right? So I've been trying to build like a solo master build, but I've been running this build right here, right? And with the modifiers of this build, like look at the extensiveness of what this build entails, man. Like look at this, the symphony. So the Symphony is two things you proc. One is at distance, one is at close range, and both of them offer 20% weapon damage. That's all you gotta know. Some of it you get bonus armor or weapon damage, but you definitely get weapon damage. And if you proc both of them at the same time, then everything double. But with using the pestilence with this build, which this is an amazing build as far as like the clearing content. Like you were running solo, it's good. I took it. I did 150 things for one of my missions with this build at the beginning of the manhunt. But it's so buggy because of the pestilent talents and the rate of fire on the pestilent when you proc the symphony talent that the game you literally miss about 40% of your shots. Even if you see the red, you shoot and then you see the proc, you constantly shooting 85 rounds, 165 rounds. It gives you're missing 40% of those rounds. That sucks, man. Because it's a inflated challenge. So things like that is what I'm saying within this game that if they do release Division 3, they should make it clear cut with what health is, stamina, what armor regen is, what armor is, what damage to armor is, all these additives and multiplicative things. They need to make it clear, especially when people build the best build. This build, man, I was in the dark zone, running in the dark zone. That armor regen bighorn build is ridiculous. It's not fun, but that's what everybody's going to run. You know, they're not going to run something like this this gear set, which is good. You know, a lot of like I really didn't like I can't think of the name of the gear set now offhand, but it increases your rate of fire when you in cover, you get armor back and things like that. I forget the name of it, but I didn't like that. But what is the major build everybody is associating in this game for the biggest damage pool build ever? It's Striker's Battle Gear Set, which is a gear set from Division 1. So it's hard not to get hung up on Division 1 when you are looking at, damn, they're releasing the DLC when we go back to New York, Warlords of New York. Then you get here and it's like, oh man, this shit is horrible. You feel underwhelmed. Then they introduce level 40. Now you at level 40, it's like, down they putting modifiers in the game that gives you power. Like you feel your build shooting that range by the teeth. You hitting shit. Sometimes I done hit over 5 million damage with my assault rifle with range on it. Damn near 9 million a bullet. And when you see that potential and people are scared to death, like man, please don't make us go up 10 more levels after I already then modified my build, got my perfect builds together, and then expertise my brand sets and gear sets, maxed out everything. You know how much material and hours that is. I see people run levels at 20, 30,000 light levels. I'm only at 4,500. That don't mean I haven't played the game or I'm not experienced with like the game. It just means that people are really dedicating a lot of hours and time into this game, and there's really nothing for them to do. So when a DLC like this we've been waiting for practically 4 years now, we're going to be waiting a little while longer. And the only thing they gaslight us with is a image of a screenshot of where I'm at right now, the Brooklyn Bridge, and a cover art and saying it's going to come out later this year. We didn't see heard anything about it, a trailer, nothing. And it's based upon what is going on in Ubisoft. So for something like this game, if this game dies and fades away, it's always going to hold a special position in my heart because I spent a lot of my time playing this game. I had a major back surgery. After the Division came out, I had injured myself, had a major back surgery, and I used to sit for hours playing this game, man. You know, building. I met a lot of great people, and that is the essence of what the creators of this game or the shareholders don't see is that you have a great title. You check all the lists: graphics, exploration, building, content, so the social aspect of it, as far as party groups. You got a clan system here as well that really is laughable, but it's still good context to what this could be or what could have been. And for to still be here at the last stages of this game, not releasing the content or hiding things behind a paywall or shit like that. Like it shouldn't have been. When they first released it, they said they won't have nothing. Everything would be earned. Everything would be free. What happened? Money got funny. Started charging for the DLC. Started charging for season passes like you see into Warzone and things like that. The great thing about this though is that you can't see your character, you can't see the weapon, you can't see the skin, you can't see those things, but the microtransactions is for this game is very minimal. It's not predatorial, but now it's becoming predatorial because it's like we need money. So it pushed my question. The DLC was supposed to be free, but when they release it now, how much would it be? Because I remember just buying a $19.99 season pass to get the 20 tiers unlocked. For that $20 you pay for that, the time that is going to take you to unlock the 20 tiers to get closer to the new brand sets, the weapons, the blueprints. So this DLC that they did release called Shades of Something, and this joint literally costs $30. It costs more than what this game costs on Steam. The $30, the game on Steam, I believe, is $5. You pay 4 to 5 times for this. I mean, 6 times more for the Shades of Something DLC because of the hype about master difficulty, about journey missions, about the manhunt, about the new Battle for Brooklyn DLC. That's what you pay for. You didn't pay for the same to do the same missions or a different color skin on your weapon or even a new exotic assault rifle or exotic holster. Those are cool. Those are things you strive for, but I'm pretty sure most of the core hardcore player base are looking at these things and collecting trophies. Just take a look at this. The master mission was tied to a chess piece, man. I have 5 of these things plus another 5 in my stash. And this chess piece, this is the best one I got right here. Of course I can re-roll it, more talents and things. Now don't get me wrong, damn it, resistance, like the description right here is just cut bare bone and dry. It's scary to think that something like this, which I think is a good move for them to release things like this to show you that or to drive you to the content, but to also it I, they just I don't know, they fell off. It was 35% resistance. So it says 25% damage resistant from enemies within 20 meters. It don't have a proc. It don't have descriptions. Like you don't see that fist stain proc when you're getting shot. Nothing. It's just something that you would see on a regular chess piece. It's a talent called Challenger. So I know that they rushed this. They didn't have uh anything because if even when you're looking at this chess piece, right? My drive's going off in the back. Hold on. Even when you're looking at this chess piece, um, and what it entails, it's a full blue chess piece. You compare that to something like where is it at? Tardigrade. Look at Tardigrade. Tardigrade got an attribute of explosive resistance. That's the only difference. This is way better than this chess piece far as what it entails. It's just like a perfect unbreakable. But the thing with this chess piece is that it just don't benefit you, it benefit everybody in your group. So this is what people would run a tank with, or even uh um the backpack. I forget the name of it. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. It's late. It's early in the morning. I'm very tired, but I can't think of it right. The Memento backpack, one of the bestest slots as far as what it offers. Just look at this inside. I don't even know what the fuck this is. The collector. Uh, I guess it dropped in one of these seasons, but it's an all red core build and it's built around explosive damage. So it's built around grenades. Look at your grenade damage, man. You get 50% of 50% radius on your grenade. You get 35% grenade damage and 25% grenade. You get 25, 35%. That's 60% grenade damage. And it says for each extra enemy caught in the blast automatically regenerates every grenade every 30 seconds if you have less than 2 grenades. So this is just a straight explosive bomber type build. You're just going to be launching grenades. The radius on that shit is crazy enough. So what I'm gonna do, since we here, and I'm gonna show you the greatness of this game, right? I probably don't have the pieces, or I probably do. Let's just fast travel right quick back to DC,
Requesting backup.
right? I'm gonna show you just right now. Just had an idea about this. I don't even know what this build is or chess piece, but the description on that chess piece is it don't have anything that you got to proc anything, but it gives you a great description on what it entails as far as the build. You know, you can build it for explosive, full red mortar turret, bombing, demolitioners. You can do a straight demolition build with it. Now, would it be
Secondary entered.
valuable? If I can throw it, grenade, and kill legendary enemies or knock the arm off enemies, or when I get 2 grenades, I constantly regenerate as long as my grenade hit. I believe that's what it says. But I'm gonna show you the greatness of this game, right? I can tell you something like this I don't know shit about, and I can just look at the herd of talent that it has on it. It's literally giving you the synopsis that you get an extra 3 grenades, you get plus 50% grenade radius, you get plus 35% grenade damage, plus another 25% grenade damage for each extra enemy caught in the grenade. So if you throw it in a group, they run up in the beginning of that mission. You got 6 there. You get in that 25% flat out. So you get 60% damage from a grenade. So that with explosive damage, we should be able to do something crazy. But let's do this, right? So let's just take that. We're gonna switch to the demolition. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything with like just raw explosive damage on it. But we got a piece right here. And there's a red build, crit damage, crit chance, and explosive damage. We're gonna put that on. Just remove the holster. We'll throw the chest piece on. Let's see what we got. Boom. Explosive damage. Now this ain't red, that's a skill. I'm pretty sure what we have here. Skill damage, weapon damage. I don't know if that grenade scales like a concussion grenade or like a mortar. Or it should look like it's based upon explosive damage, which is a very powerful thing for like armor and everything. But let's just take a look at the library, right? Let's take a look at talents. I want to see talents. Hold on. Okay, we look at talents. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to backpack. Attribute, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at talents. Let's see if we have any explosive damage talents here. Skill stuff. Skill stuff. Shock and awe. It's a status effect to an enemy increase total skill damage. No. Calculated violent cover skill cooldown. No. Bloodsucker. Overclock. No. Leadership. Performing cover to cover. No. I was looking for something like that. No. This is all backpack talents, by the way. That's weapon damage. Creeping death status effect. Wicked right here. I can probably do this just for the extra damage. Applying the status effect increase total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. So I could probably take something like this since I am throwing grenades and it causes bleed to scale up my weapon damage as well because I'm not just gonna be running throwing grenades. I definitely got to be able to shoot as well. But let's take a look. Do I got a wicked? I know I got a wicked chest piece. Boy, my joint is lagging. Let me see. Just gonna put together some bullshit. So I do have a wicked one. This is not. Is it perfectly wicked on this chest piece? This is a backpack. I do have. I know they got a perfectly wicked talent on one of these chest pieces. Crit chance has it. Weapon damage, armor. Trying to see if I can find another explosive damage piece. Sorry, my mind is wandering right now. So I don't have a lot of different brand sets, but just look close enough to what I wanted. So something like Wicked on this backpack. The status. So explosive resistance, that's more so an additive to bombing, getting bombed. Good for a tank, definitely. Boom. This is just a status effect, though. Yeah, so I don't. Um, yeah, I'm getting a brain fart here. I'm just gonna use this wicked backpack because that's the talent that I want anyway. All right, boom. Now I don't see no other pieces with explosive damage. We already got the two top primary explosive damage. Of course, we're gonna use the mortar turret. So we want to use some form of skills and skill damage. Um, so I'm gonna regen on the second talent. You got skill haste there. That's a one piece. Which I'll probably just go with a ninja bike. Well, I can't because of the chest piece, but see, shot crit damage. So we got some explosive resistance right here on this holster. Um, Crit chance. Weapon damage. They got skill haste. That's that. I'm just gonna take what I need. Doesn't even matter at this point. Boom. So I'm regen. Yeah, let's see. Let me check my stash. Just like I go. So I'm trying to think. Do I want to do skills
Let me
or do
be
I
your
want to? Well,
one-stop
I have
shop.
to do some kind of skills. But let me just see what I have on hand. Skill duration. Skill damage there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use that. Yeah, I don't have shit. Um, we'll just do this. I was trying to see if I had a regular set, so the pistol damage and shot that is crazy. That melee bill. I remember that. Skill damage. Um, we had 3 tiers. Boy, I'm having a brain fart. Let me see something though. Blue, blue, blue. I don't know. I have like explosive damage. They just have resistance.
I need to find that item.
Got on my stash already. Okay. Let me just see. I don't have no bill. Of course, we use the mortar tournament. Um, the enemies move so rapidly. I just want to see what's the basis of
Hey there.
what they're saying as far as multiple groups of enemy around. Why am I watching this? All right, so we got some skill damage, explosive damage, explosive damage. All right. Okay. Let me just see what the bases you can do. I might got a little bit ahead of myself. Okay. Damn, that radius is crazy. I can't even tell the damn. I mean, that shit went crazy. With all them people together, all them dummies together. That shit literally kill everything. They yellows, ain't they? 2 million. Yeah, I like that 2 million damage on triple. Let's see what he do as far as I got 2 grenades. Yeah, not not my cup of tea. Well, GG's, man. I'm out.